Yo, you listening to the Oprah Rose Show with TT and Gigi, and yeah, get it poppin'.
Thoughts. Everything begins with thoughts.
She's a slut, she's a hoe, she's this, she's that.
We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much.
It's about people being uncomfortable with women owning their sexuality.
What is the truest, highest vision that you hold for yourself?
I'm a real ass bitch, and I'm gonna get everything that I'm gonna get on my own.
I know for sure. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you believe.
What's up?
I'm TT.
And I'm Diddy.
I'm Gigi. Gigi's not here.
Gigi would be here, but she's not here.
Yeah, she's not here. But
Yeah.
we are the Oprah Rose Show. Live and in person.
In Atlanta.
In ATL.
Next to my sister.
So if you're watching on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That YouTube, it came out. My Baltimore came out. You can see us on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes.
Love the listener letters.
Oh, yeah.
The Oprah Rose Show @gmail.com.
Yes.
You know, just the blind leading the blind. It's like, I'm kidding.
Now what do I got to do with anything? Oh, you
I
talking
mean,
about the
I ain't
letters.
no professional. Yeah,
Oh, with
shit.
the
We ain't
letters.
no professionals.
No, but
you know,
I mean, we could give our perspective if we went through
Exactly.
something similar.
I think we have a good perspective.
Yeah,
you know?
the dolls have lived.
Yeah, exactly.
Lived many lives.
Yeah. I actually tweeted this the other day, how I would like to be a reoccurring guest in my life, though. I'm actually very tired of being
want to
a main
look at
character.
what's happening.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
That's fair.
I'm tired.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
I want peace and ease.
Well, the thing about this year, I feel like it started for a lot of people very like kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
Yeah.
And now we're just trying to like figure out the rest of the 6 months and actually just have some fun.
Yeah, and the craziest part is I think April was so wild. I don't even remember what happened in January or
Really?
February. I think I have to
Those were my rough months, January,
February. Yeah, I think I actually have to January. Oh no, I do remember. January was definitely a little rough. So it was February, but not like
April. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So
it was leading you up to that.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about
exactly.
January, February, where it was like leading me to March.
Okay.
Whereas like March, I went through the whole unemployment thing.
Yeah.
And like really just trying to like figure that out throughout the rest of the months. But had January, February not happened, I wouldn't have looked almost like the bright side of that happening.
Yeah. Especially when you can see it kind of in it very quickly.
I didn't. You see it, but you don't know, right? So
it's listen, life be life.
The dolls have lived many lives, as we said.
That's the only thing I know, and I'm like you said, the next 6 months, it's summer. I just want like peace and ease, and I think I was like, there's some accountability that I have to do to create that also.
What you mean?
Just like make smart decisions. Some of it, we do ourselves, I feel like.
Yeah, but like you don't foresee the decision you're gonna make being a bad decision, right? I think it's like taking a step back. Hindsight's always 20/20, as you say. Whereas, like, yeah, sure, if I think about how I got into this, I would have done it differently. But you don't know in that moment.
I think so. But sometimes you like, I should not be doing this shit, and I haven't done that. But like, sometimes I think it is, and then you be like, now how I get in this, but you also
put yourself in.
Yeah. I mean,
making better decisions.
You know who really could have stood to make a lot of better decisions?
Who's
child? A man of many names.
Oh, child. And had the nerve to change it to love at the end of it all.
A man of many, Mr. Combs, Puff, Diddy.
Whew.
All of the names. It's like, I feel like he was such like a part of our literally childhood. Like,
yeah.
I worked there.
You did work there.
It is.
G worked there.
Yep, exactly. Like impacted, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, when you're talking about, I feel like millennials coming up, it's like Jay-Z, Puff, like, and I think they're a little different in that regard, but like I feel like Jay-Z music wise, they're like
similar conversation.
Like Jay-Z and Puff,
right?
Or like your main two or whatever.
And just in terms of like the businesses they were able to do and brands and the music as well,
literally
and
scale of
and
all
be able
of the things
to have our arms reach different industries and different people and bring them up as well.
Yeah.
And obviously we talked about it in last week's episode just in terms of like what happened. And, Cassie put out a statement as well, talking about really thank you for the love that people have been sending her, and that the healing takes time and it never goes away. And you're constantly thinking about that, but that she's in a better place. And I'm just happy that she released that statement.
I am too, because I think what I hate when that video came out, what I hated for her and anybody that has ever been a victim of any type of abuse, it's like you said, it's constantly going to be a thing that you're living through. So to then see it, and then to be, and I hate to say this, like, it had to be shown, I think, for some people to be like, nah, black man, they trying to take you down. And it's like, especially if you, and if you worked in anybody, but specifically, I think the people that work in entertainment, like, you knew.
Yeah,
like,
you knew.
Everybody knew.
Yeah.
And
she alluded to not the you knew part, but that she's glad the video came out because you should believe victims the first time.
Yeah, it's like, so I think some people unfortunately did have to see that. You know, it was, what was it, like days before, and he's like, oh, time will tell. It's like to stand on this high like moral
and it did.
ground.
Yeah,
exactly.
Time did tell, actually.
To stand on this high moral ground of like, I the truth will set you free. And it's like, no, yes, it will, nigga. Yeah, like, and it did. What we were talking about at dinner, I mean, I'm gonna find out because I keep forgetting to ask, but like, just how this video, I guess, came about.
Yeah, because we're talking about a video from 8 years ago. We're talking about a video at primarily the center of her civil lawsuit. Yeah. Because it is the one event that she's able to call out the date, call out the location, call out exactly what happened to her. So I'm sure that was a part of some sort of investigation, right? And so to the point now where it's leaked, and where it leaked, because last night we were talking about this at dinner, like they didn't go to TMZ. They went to CNN.
They went to CNN.
And so when you go the route of like hardcore journalism, you mean business.
It's not for play
Yeah,
at
this
all.
is not for play.
Yeah, this was not a Tasha K special.
Tasha K.
This was CNN, like hard news.
Middle of the day.
This
wasn't even like 8 p.m. Anderson Cooper 360. Yeah. This is 1 p.m. breaking news. And it's terrible. I really feel bad for what Cassie had to go through. I'm a fan. Like, y'all know I play her music.
No, same.
Yeah, right. Like, the girl's been had a long way to go.
Like, forever. I
had a long
always
way to go.
loved Cassie. Like
even, mixtape Cassie demos, because we only got one album, but now we know why.
Yeah.
And it's just that she had to endure these things from being in a relationship with him, with someone who has access, power, money, that can have this thing happen to you, and nothing ever happened to him because the video's hidden. There's no charges
he's just so,
being pressed,
and I hate to be like, you're just so powerful. You can hide everything, or you can pay people off, or the people that wouldn't be associated with you are not. I find that very interesting. Like, all the people that were literally like, they are named in lawsuits and were like, yeah, you should protect Black women. And it's like, where was all that energy when it was happening?
Right.
When you were
like, she's not going to call you out if you were not part of this. It's a cover up.
Yeah. So it's like and I also hate the like, oh, you should just leave. And I will say, like, I have not been in like that type of situation, like, prayerfully, but I still would never think that that's an easy thing. Like, this is someone that is your lover, your boss, is controlling essentially like your career, your livelihood, your everything. That it just, I can't. It's like, imagine how much just like a regular ass toxic nigga that ain't doing none of that, and he's like using. There was a suit that came out last week actually about like somebody from the 90s and saying like, she was put in multiple situations because he's essentially like love bombing you with all this stuff, and then you're like, all right, I get it, maybe you changed, like now that I get. So and then you show back up, and then it's like the same thing. It's like then all these patterns just keep repeating itself, and then I think you just lose sight of just yourself, the bigger picture, everything. It's all very sad, but
sad and layered, right? Because there's many different layers to that, and like, I've never, thank the Lord, experienced anything remotely close to that. But to your point, it's a easier said than done situation. Yeah. I also remember when Cassie left him and was with her now husband, and I was like, well, damn, that was quick. Yeah. And I think that was a lot of people's reaction when that happened. It was like, okay, like, where did Alex come from? And then kind of reading like the backstory of like, oh, this was her trainer. And so I think the media was almost trying to paint it at the time like this was like some like
quick thing. Yeah.
Like she had maybe was messing with him before. And I hate that happened because if anything, I feel like he saved her.
Not for one second was I like, oh, this is like, you're in a safe space to actually be able to have a child, have children with this
be
man.
Married and that whole thing.
That I think is very telling. Like, even when I think it was, and this sounds really fucked up, but like it is what it is. When Floyd's, I think it was like one of the women that he was associated with.
Okay.
It was saying something, and she was like, she had like an abortion for 2 kids, and I was like, oh, that nigga, whatever they said, he did it. Like it
twins?
ain't even about the money. Yeah, it's it's a bigger picture when it's like she's young. They never had, and all them kids Puff had. He had a baby by every woman he was with. When you think about it, most
outside
of them.
of Cassie.
Yeah, like to be with her and to be the person that we forward-facingly at least saw that long, you know?
Right.
Like,
they were together for a long time.
Yeah, for a very long time. So when, like you said, when she got with Alex, it was like, to me, I was like, oh, again, this is a safe space. You can now do this.
Yeah. So now knowing what we know, I hate that was what the media had been like portraying at that time.
Yeah.
I never believed any of that, but like to your point, like, oh, this is a safe space. Like, I'm popping these babies out. I love that. Like, and knowing what we know now, he essentially saved her from that situation. I'm
and
sure,
he was still doing stuff. Remember, it's like that control also, like still like saying little stuff. And I don't know. And then Carisha, I think, did she delete her?
No, she's still on social. She unfollowed him.
Got it. Okay, I knew I saw something.
Yeah, she unfollowed him.
Okay.
He's still following her as of the recording, which is so crazy that makes news now.
Yeah,
because that's a thing that you are final with somebody because you unfollow them.
Yeah, that is a thing, though.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like when you unfollow somebody, that is like it's intentional.
That is a thing.
I searched your name.
Yeah,
I went to your page. Yeah, and I clicked unfollow.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Yeah, I just pray for all parties involved. Seriously,
absolutely.
Like I think the children is like. It's so many people, you know, these things happen, and it's so many other people that are affected also. I just, all of them, because it's like we can't, and even back to what I was saying, it's like Puff, that was our childhood.
Yeah.
So many songs.
Yeah.
And like, because you said that you are not playing Puff music anymore. Puff music that you can't, you said that he talks.
Sorry. Like once it originally came out, I stopped playing. I think I was like in the car and I was listening to like it's called Starred playlist back when you could star songs on Spotify.
You still, oh, I guess you hit the
You got to like now. Okay, it's like so it doesn't create a playlist.
Okay.
But, so the Press Play album started playing and I was like, oh,
yeah, I know.
And I turned that shit off so fast. And I was like, damn, like, and I had a moment of realizing like, damn, I don't think I can play him. And then to your point, the web of him in terms of like production, writing, and label head.
Mary J. Blige, My Life, and like you're never gonna listen to that.
But I
can
listen to that because he's not talking or rapping. So if there's a song that he is talking or rapping on,
and remember, I ain't gonna hold you. Remember in the chat, I was literally like, so I can't hear Beyonce's Summertime anymore, and that's like that's rapping. One of my favorite, and he is rapping.
He's rapping. So unless you cut it.
No, he's rapping through the whole thing. Because why was like last night? I was literally driving recently, and last night Keisha Cole came on, and I was singing. I was like, ah! And I literally was like, I did that out loud. I was like, I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh my god! Yeah. It's just he's just so intertwined. And,
that's like, the Press Play album.
My favorite girl group is Total. It's like, oh
yeah. And he's like talking all through that.
He
ain't even rapping. He just talking. Which sucks, right?
I hate him, y'all.
Yeah, like that sucks because it's like I can't like 112. Like it's so many, artists you can name.
Okay, and I did listen to 112 the other day, but he was not talking. I listened to what's the one with 3 in it? But he wasn't talking. I don't know, but I also listened to I was listening to Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, and
you was having a little male R&B.
I was literally. I was having a whole like male R&B.
We're like male R&B groups now. I know groups are expensive and hard to manage that whole thing. I get it.
What is it? Wanye's? They're like a kid.
Okay. They're all his sons.
They're all his sons.
Yeah.
I know. I think it's just so hard to produce groups now. So,
it's a lot that goes into
a lot that goes into
there's
groups.
a lot. That's a lot of people.
A lot.
I don't know how there were so many for so well.
I know when you think about it, because I think that's what made me, something happened and I was like, damn, we really don't. Now we talking about boy bands. I was like, you really don't have boy bands, like not even pop. It's not even just like an R&B thing. Like there are not, and even girls. The only girls right now, as far as band or
like
groups,
Flo.
I was about to say Flo.
Yeah, Flo's probably the only one. Yeah.
And more than two. It's like City Girls.
Are they still together?
Exactly.
I think they've disbanded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's not.
JT called her out like, you
and
looking
the only
at me
people,
sideways.
not you. I ain't friendly.
Bitch, I ain't friendly.
I'm dead. The Korean, the pop bands.
Oh yeah, K-pop.
That's K-pop is like the only really, when you talk about on that scale of like a Backstreet Boy,
a boy band.
Boy band.
Interesting. Well, to the Puff, Diddy, Love, whatever situation, yeah, I can't play anything where he's like speaking, and that's unfortunate for those artists that are part of that. Even Danity Kane, like back to groups. He's
in the car.
Not rapping on anything, but there's a few songs on the second
He's
album.
not on Showstopper though, is he?
No, it's Young Jock.
Okay.
He's Parks on Young Jock songs, like, yeah. So there's a web of his, and all those artists would talk about how shiesty he was and his agreements and how he treated them. Like Aubrey from Danity Kane is just waiting for her moment.
Waiting.
I'm like, girl, just tell us what happened.
I can't wait for her Tasha K interview.
I can't.
Okay.
Why do you think it's gonna be Tasha K?
I don't know.
She gonna go to.
I've never seen one Tasha K interview, mind you. So why I keep saying that, I don't know.
Not at all. She gonna go right to Tamron Hall.
I think Tamron Hall gonna be too hard on her or something.
Okay. Well, who else? Sherry.
I mean, everybody goes to CNN. I have no idea why CNN keeps like putting Glorilla and Cameron and like all these people on their platform.
Why are they not vetting the people that they put onto the show?
No sense. And I was like, okay, maybe they are trying to bring culture to other people. But Cameron stood up there talking about, I'm about to go. What did he say? He's like, I'm gonna get some cheeks.
He's about to get some cheeks. He said, and then whatever it was, it's called horsepower. Oh, so I'm assuming it's some shit that got some fucking Viagra in it. Oh my God. It was like a powder form, and he like put it in his mouth as if it was like a drink.
I thought it was like a shot. Yeah,
it looks like it's a drink. Like,
there's a spot in Harlem that is oh my God, somebody from the Locks or somebody. Okay. It's somebody's like juice bar, and they have all those like, they're literally like, I know people who don't drink and use those as literally like shots. And then like you can feel it, like
Cialis, Viagra shit.
No, nigga, it's not. I was like, no, nigga,
that's like
roots. It's like all natural shit.
Okay,
so I thought it was something like that.
Got it. You thought it was like the natural.
I thought it was like a natural.
No, it's whatever it's called. It's
honey
called
pack.
Horsepower.
Wow. Okay.
So basically, like a honey pack is what he was taking in powder form.
I saw a tweet. It was like, y'all dicks are gonna fall off. Just keep taking all these damn honey packs and all these like the root thing. I feel like is a little different because it's like all natural. But a powder form sounds nuts.
Yeah. Why didn't you just do a honey pack? I've done it one time.
Sorry, I don't know why. I was not expecting that.
It's interesting because it's like, I see why people do it. But if you need to do a honey pack every weekend,
Wait. Oh my God, I'm dying. Because all I can think is like John Withers was like, bang, 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 bang. That's all I can think of.
No, I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you would normally do. Okay. It don't make you do anything like out of your norm.
Well, I don't think you turn into like a fucking that a nigga just take off.
It's giving Hulk. You just turn into the Hulk.
You take a honey pack.
Fucking shirt
and like, I didn't think that. I have noticed the dick because I have known.
You've had honey.
I have never had a honey pack
dick.
But I've had
got it.
Or like a gummy dick, if you will.
Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't like you were a different person.
And then my ass did it with what did we take? Not drug wise. I'm like, what did we take? Yeah, it was a Red Bull. It was like a Red Bull with
pop on the Tesla. I feel when it kicked. This sounds crazy.
This was like auto drive. Like,
oh my god,
we were in Barcelona. So
oh my god, like it makes sense. Yeah,
vacation.
I mean, but
Cameron was just doing it on CNN.
Yeah, I guess, and he's 50 plus, so you especially if you fuck a little younger, you probably got to keep up. So,
but I get why CNN wants to, like you said, bridge the gap with culture and have more folks on there that are a bit more relevant in other spaces. Like, you can't have Common come on here and talk about this. Like, we've used him a million times.
Okay. And see, I forgot what he was talking about. He was talking about Puff. I completely forgot. Yeah.
But he didn't even want to answer the question.
That's what I'm saying. Who vetted this?
Yeah, like he asked that in the interview. He literally said, "Who do y'all have working in talent booking?" Because
he said that. I didn't even watch it. I stopped.
I watched the whole thing. He asked the interviewer who in talent booking booked him because he doesn't understand why he's there.
And he just said yes to it. Like, he's like, I got something to do after this. I'm going to do this, but I have something to do after.
A hat low, dark ass sunglasses on. Like, I was baffled.
Because he just was basically like, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, he didn't answer any really questions. And because I think the interviewer asked him something on the lines of like, how do you feel about these recent allegations that have come out about Puff in regards to, women that he may have assaulted in the early 2000s and the 90s. And he was like, I don't know what that man do in his bedroom. And I'm like,
okay. I did see that. I think that's when I stopped.
Yeah, wow. Like I would stop too, but I was already watching the train take off, so I might as well just keep watching.
Wow.
But I'm like, who would I want to see on a platform like CNN from our community?
Well, somebody that can like Glorilla's was funny because she like at the end of the day, the day gotta end. Like she had quotables. Did she say anything of reference or no? Absolutely not. No. Besides, I love Joe Biden. It's like, girl, what? What?
I mean, that in itself helps the campaign.
Does it?
He need any and everything.
My question is, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, anybody watching this, does it make you say, oh, I'm going to get out and vote?
No.
Exactly.
No.
So what is the point? I was like, this is another thing, like watching their phones, like, you know what? Glorilla really fucked with. Glorilla was in the White House.
I didn't even know it was about Biden.
Yeah, she took a pic. She was in the White House prior to that.
Right.
So she had posted a picture.
Right, and they asked her about like how you were invited.
Exactly.
Do you endorse him?
That's when sometimes it's like I don't think artists that are not politically inclined need to discuss political issues. Yeah. Sometimes because. Yeah. This is when I wish G was here to get on her to get on her soapbox, but.
No, I get it. But from wanting to speak to the youth, I get that part too. Because
there has to be a balance.
Yeah, because these are people that they listen to. And so, like, there does need to be a balance. And, I mean, I wish more people spoke about voting and wanting to vote and things that are going on in the world. But I do understand the other side of that. As an artist, you don't want to involve yourself with that.
Or you don't know also. I think even somebody like me, right? I like the shit that they do with Marilyn Mosby is actually crazy. And I'm not even about to
because she used her own money.
That is nuts. But am I paying attention to like every single solitary thing that's going on? No, I'm not. So I get it why an artist, you either don't know or you're not comfortable speaking on it, and or shit you might not even care.
Right.
Let's be honest. I get that, but there does need to be some type of balance.
Bring back Teen Summit. Remember Teen Summit?
We do need Teen Summit.
There just needs some sort of that type of content that just speaks to an age group between 13 and 24.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna extend it 24.
Yeah. It's giving 13 to 40, like,
and like can speak directly to the issues that are going on because. A 13, 14-year-old, while we're talking about Glorilla being on CNN to talk about Biden to hopefully get people to want to go vote, they're maybe not watching CNN.
Yeah, right.
They're scrolling and looking out for the big words in the background.
Yeah.
With a photo underneath and two photos on the side.
What is that?
The Shade Room and Neighborhood Talk.
Oh my God. I was like, what is
that? The big bold letters.
I'm dead. I mean, I think, and that's just like an overarching issue. I keep saying that our like TV programming alone is just horrible when you think about it.
It is.
Like even how I think we consume music, it's like you go to your phone and you're typing in what you want to hear. Gone are the days of everybody, kind of nationally listening to the same thing. And I mean, you do to an extent, but I think music is even more regional now because you're going to go pick. No one really listens to the radio anymore.
It's even deeper than regional now.
Yeah, it's right, exactly. There's like subgroups of like, you might not listen to this in one state, but you listen to this music in another state. Like to, like you said, the programming, or where are the sitcoms?
Where are the family sitcoms?
Like Abbott is at the, like for Black people, where like the fact that we would have Thursday night lineups of A Different World, Cosby Show, which, Lord, A Different World, Cosby Show.
But all of those
Malcolm, what was it? Malcolm and Me. I can really go back. In the House. There were so many. We don't
Fresh
have.
Prince.
Yeah,
that was like Friday nights.
I still watch Fresh Prince and Martin. Still, where are 30-minute? And I love Abbott, but where are 30-minute outside of that?
Right.
Where are 30-minute?
And even Abbott is a comedy, but it's not like those and like laugh out loud.
Yeah. Well, no. I be in stitches on Abbott. Like, no, I literally be like spit water out, laughing out loud on Abbott. But yeah, I think, and again, that showed different things because A Different World dealt with so many different issues across the board. Like, it wasn't even like it was just funny. Even Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air dealt with a bunch of shit.
Yeah, like real life issues that you can incorporate these big moments into.
Yeah.
I think that, because when you even think about Fresh Prince, like he would always, that show had like celebrities on it, or like, people that were, of note coming in on the show. And
all of them. I like something today that was like how remember all the artists used to be on all the shows. Like there was an intersectionality of whether it be like music, culture, art in these shows. It's like we don't have that that anymore.
Shoot, New York Undercover had people performing at the
end. I still want to go to Natalie's. I wanted to go to Natalie's so bad. This fake place, and you could
with the credits rolling and the artists
there was a spot in the 70s, and you could not call this I just lost it. It wasn't called the Supper Club. I can't think of it. But that to me was Natalie's when I first moved to New York. You couldn't tell me. Yeah, you could not tell me that it was not. It was right by the Beacon Theater. Couldn't tell me. I'm gonna get the name of it. But we don't have any
nothing.
I don't know. And that's why I just like really I be fearing for this generation of like
because at that point it's all about what they're exposed to at home, and Lord knows what's going on.
Exactly. It's literally just it's home in your phone, really. Right.
Because it's like what you are fed from your parents and your family at that point, so that they can make sure that you get the content that you are supposed to see to be a good individual.
Or even I think just my friend does these dinners. She's a private chef. And shout out to Sabine, and she does these dinners, and it's called like 7 Seats on Sunday. And basically it's like 7 people, and sometimes there's a conversation, sometimes it's not. And I kept joking, I kept saying like community, like 92Q, like but with the Q. But I was like, even community is missing. It's missing. Like, and I'm sure kids play outside, but like I don't see that in Brooklyn. Like I
see it where I live.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the suburbs.
Right.
And we specifically wanted to move to an area that had that.
Yeah, that has
had that growing up.
That you can your bikes is outside. Everybody's outside. It's time to go outside.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and maybe New York kids I'm sure they had community, but I'm sure it just looked a little differently because they did not have the space.
Like backyards.
Or even just the front yard. Like you literally on a main street. It's like,
and they play in that main street where they're used to, at least.
I don't know what New York niggas is doing, but the New York babies, every time I'm like, how do y'all grow up in this place? It's so interesting.
And that's why they are who they are.
It is.
You can tell when you like a New Yorker that grew up in New York.
It really
because
is.
they are shaped and made very differently.
Very.
We're a little bit New Yorkers too. Like it has been a huge part of our lives.
Yeah.
But not in that way. We ain't grow up. It wasn't our childhood.
No. And I there's definitely ways I feel like 5 years in, my mother was like, "You're so mean," and I was like, "It's not even mean. I'm definitely way more like stern and all that."
That was the one thing.
It's never like rude or anything like that.
When Anthony and I got back together the second time, he was like, "You're different. Like you're meaner now," and I'm like,
"That's crazy.
I'm not mean. I just can't be like."
You have to be because
really
it might be like a homeless person like jerking off in the subway next to you. You gotta
like fuck out of here.
You gotta be looking him in the eye like I'm crazy too. Like it literally changes.
I'm taking the train by myself at midnight, 1 a.m.
Right.
Like the fuck? Yeah.
Why I took the train, my old ass took the train maybe 11 o'clock at night. Well, I mean, we all got out, and we actually all got out and then took an Uber, right? It was so, and I was like, y'all, what in the fuck? I feel like I am back to like my broke days and I have no money and I'm on the train because we were coming from Times Square and couldn't get an Uber. And we like literally all, like I said, we all took it and then everybody got out and took their Uber separately. But I was like, oh, this was cute. Brooklyn? Yeah, I was like, this was kind of cute taking the train.
Because it's even, the pandemic also was a thing to the point of like stop taking the train.
Oh no, I know people that have not. Now me, I'm gonna spend my $2.90. Okay, in the morning.
$2.90 now.
$2.90. Yeah.
Damn, it was $2.75 when I was there.
Yeah. No, I'm spending. Be clear, I am not I only take Uber girl in the morning. Right. Like I am a $2.90. I'm gonna get on that iron horse.
Yeah. When I was still there and I was going into the office post. Like in the pandemic, I would take the train.
Yeah, I started. I did. Yeah, I started. I just,
Now, recreationally, casually, absolutely not.
I still do.
Well, you have a car, right?
But if after work and stuff like that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
No, I still do. I be on that thing. Okay. New York's greatest asset.
Listen, because, and it's affordable in a way. I mean, not as much now, but like the train.
Hell yeah, compared to like
other places, because where it takes you, it's affordable.
And I work on the west side. I work very far, so it doesn't. I don't care where. I could be going around the corner. It's $20 every time. But that shit adds up.
Yeah.
So $2.90.
This is not advocating for what's happening on the trains at all. But
no, not at all. Because I think, and I touched on that.
For that.
I touched on that. Yeah, and again, and back to politics. What's his name? Fuck Mixie ass Eric Adams always, because I had said this like a month ago. You can literally there is such a mental health crisis everywhere, but it is so obvious in New York. Like it is. I mean, walking down my block, which is a residential family familial, this lady like came up to me one night. I was parking late, and she tapped on my window and asked me for money. I literally, my soul almost left my body.
Yeah, like I would literally, bitch.
I literally said,
like my soul, literally, what?
My soul
Anybody tapping on the window
at 12 a.m.
Yeah,
my soul left my body. And I mean, like, I got in and I was shaking, shaking. And this is a block that I said, like, my block is so quiet. I don't even hear. I heard a siren recently, and I was like, damn, I don't think I've ever heard a siren around here. Extremely quiet. So to do that, and then maybe it was like 3 weeks later, I saw her again. And I was like, oh, they must have like either a meth clinic or a homeless center. Because then I did see somebody else too. I was like, and you just, the train, you get off the train. It's bad. Like, it's specifically around like 14th in Soho. It's bad. And these are areas that are extremely wealthy.
Right.
And it is like line, you get off the train and it's just like lines. This one guy got a sign. It literally just says, I'm down bad. That's it.
That's so sad.
I'm down bad. Like,
that's so sad. And it's just like, even here, driving around, I'll see like the homelessness that's happening, like people being like under bridges, and especially the Edgewood area, like it's just so rampant over there. Like, and when I lived in New York, we were on 136 in Lenox. That's right next to the library, and it had like this scaffolding that was there for years. I couldn't tell you what they were working on all that damn time. But literally, the homeless people would lay under that because it had the scaffolding. And our block had put a meth clinic on the block.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. So they were trying to get that out of here, but it was on the block. Like, I remember walking one time, and like it was across the street, and I would walk Oliver, and it was literally like a whole batch of like needles just on the ground. Like it was almost like if it was a movie and somebody just dropped on the ground
just the whole thing.
to walk in to clean themselves up, and I was like, this is crazy.
It's not even, that's what I'm saying. It's not just the kids. It's like the communities, the everything.
I don't know how we just got real dark with this.
I know, no, because it's like even the education, shutting down libraries.
Yeah.
Why is minimum wage $7.25 in 2024?
Why is the libraries closed on weekends now? Why is that? What? That's where the kids are supposed to go? Where are they supposed to go?
If I'm looking, if whatever I need to do, I can do it on. Because like I'd see a line when I would go to my gym, I would see a line of people, and I was like, "What are they doing?" And it finally occurred. I went in the library one day, and I was like, "Oh, it's the people are lined up to be able to use the computers."
Wow.
Lined every morning, and so this is before they open. at like 9 a.m. to probably even be able to use one. So
Right.
if you don't have time or whatever, yeah, I'm going to go on the weekend. So now
Right.
you're shutting that down to put more money into police funding and like over policing things that you're sitting on the train, but people are still being shot inside the subway stations. I'm confused.
Wild.
I'm very confused.
That is wild. The thought of being in the subway station and you could be shot, like, I never thought about that.
But why my dumb ass was like, I was like, oh, let me not get on the train today. And I was like, oh, they want $40. I'm going $5. Let me get on the train. I took the train.
$40?
I took the train that day.
Uber and Lyft is just out of control.
No, and I was like, God got me. If it's my time. I was like, God got me. If it's my time, it's my time. I was like, I am going 4 stops. Like, I am not paying $40 for 4 stops.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got right on the train that day and was like,
that is crazy.
Do you want me? Do you want
like that?
It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. That's why I said it's all the things, the mental health. I don't know. And I feel like you've been talking about your therapy journey a little bit, and like I just started looking for one, and I literally saw the prices and was like,
yeah, therapy is pricey.
Like that's a luxury, low key. We can't even act like it should be a necessity, and it's very much a luxury.
Yeah, because I feel like, and if you're a therapist listening to this, please don't take offense to it. I feel like the good therapists don't take insurance.
No, none of them barely do. I also have like horrible insurance. Let's not even get into that. Okay. Like they don't take, then you already don't take insurance because it's like the price of grapes, insurance. It's just all so crazy. Yeah. It's also crazy. Like the price of grapes, that is the one thing I cannot get over the price of grapes every time I go. Like,
how much are grapes right now?
Like $8.
That's expensive. Why is it not like $5?
Exactly.
Whew. It's
a real epidemic too.
Yeah, so therapy is expensive. And it shouldn't be. It should be subsidized. They're just the president, vice president, Kamala. What y'all doing?
I don't.
Because when I think about the vice president and Kamala, this is to you, baby. When I think about what the vice president does, they really do programs that help community, and that is like the last thing I know that she was trying to do was give internet for all. I don't care about that. The babies can go to the library.
If you also don't have a computer, how the hell are you getting on the internet? Because that was what's the lady in the Bronx was like. What did she say? She said something about like these dumb kids in the Bronx don't have.
Not these dumb kids.
It was something like that. That was like, bitch, what are you even talking about? Like,
I can't.
What?
But I mean, there's more that should be done, especially as it pertains to therapy, because even the babies need it.
Yeah, everybody.
There's just so much like. 2020 was 4 years ago. It's a long time in a way. People haven't processed that. We've just like moved on. Like, and I was talking the other day of like, this is like the first year of actually post-pandemic. Like 2023, we were still talking about the shit. This year, COVID never happened. Yeah. Like it's not even a thing now. And so I think people are just kind of like moving forward and not necessarily like just talking through like not how that affected you, but like just like moving forward. Like what does life look like?
I think it's so many things that would behoove children to talk about, whether it be, like social media bullying, whatever is happening in your homes. I even think it's like the shit that long term, like no one can read damn near anymore. Like, I mean, I don't know how therapy is supposed to fix that, but like the reading levels have drastically dropped. But again, there is obviously like an uptick in bullying and like child suicide. So there's stuff that's happening in the schools and in the homes, and you have no outlet, you have nobody to talk to about. Like, and then I don't know how it gets better. And then you got hurt people raising people. Yeah. So it's I wish parents sometimes would do therapy, like, and then you have therapy, to. Yeah, it's like, so sometimes you have to be the person in your family like, you know what? This ain't really my zhuzh. But then it takes, even to get there, there's a lot of whether lived experiences, self-awareness. There's so many things that go into that, and then you just have generations of people
that just hurt and need help. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing about therapy, I think people are scared too, of kind of like opening up those wounds, or even like, I don't want to talk to nobody about this. Like, I'm fine. And it's not that. Like, when I'm thinking right now about my own therapy journey, and love my therapist, she's like amazing.
If you are a therapist, I think I asked for one.
Yeah.
I would love a therapist.
Yeah.
I think we had love coach.
Yeah. We
Maybe
had a therapist on too.
We did. Oh,
Yeah.
you did. Yes. But I would also love I think I would love another therapist. So if you're on YouTube, I'm winking.
Hit us up. But it's just necessary to just like talk through like little things. Like I had a session last week that was really good. Our sessions are always an hour. She calls it wellness coaching because it's not necessarily me looking back and being like, these things hurt me, I need to unpack. It's more about when I'm in these different spaces mentally, what am I supposed to do to move forward?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because you mentioned
so it's more of like wellness coaching and
yeah.
kind of like, all right, this is the behavior. How can we improve upon that when these things happen or change happens, and like what your response is? And so that's kind of primarily been it. But this last session, like Mama was unlocking like childhood shit that I didn't really like think about, and like saying it out loud made it seem so small and trivial. But you don't think about how those moments as an adult affects you.
It's not. It's not. I think that, and I actually want that type to be like, all right, whatever happened in childhood that leads you to where you are today.
Right.
I more so want that because they're not trivial. They're not apparently
small. Because if I'm pinpointing these moments, and I'm thinking of the one I called out right now.
Yeah.
If I'm pinpointing that as a thing, that has always been a thing.
Yeah.
So
always.
It's not trivial.
Yeah, it's not.
I've always thought about this. And how do we get past that?
Yeah, and
not past it, like
it's because it's how you show up. It's how you show up. The workplace, like I feel like I've worked with people that there are certain childhood things that I can pick up on. That it's like this is not me shit. This is something that you have struggled with your entire life. This is like a part of your personality at a point. And I know you've always probably been like this. You can see it you can really, really see it in romantic relationships.
Oh yeah, that's when you know. That's when you really know when you need therapy.
Those babies, like
that's when you know. Like, and I mean, even for myself, going and finding a therapist this time, because this was the third time I've done therapy, third therapist. This time in particular, going back to January, February, which were really dark months for me, just like mentally. Having a partner, they're gonna see all of that.
Yeah,
like you can't hide. In a way, like you can try to mask emotions and all of that, but even putting on a mask is still like, what's going on, kind of thing.
Listen, I'm sick of talking about my shit, but yeah, like. Everybody needs therapy.
Oh, everybody. It only helps. It never hurts.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, it only helps. It will never hurt.
And I think there are some people, right, that also, let's be clear, I think there are some people that weaponize the word. Even back to Puff, who's like, I sought deep therapy and da-da-da-da.
I hate that he said that.
Yeah, like, I think some people just use the words and you say you went. Right. I know somebody that I feel like has been in therapy for so long, but is probably lying to his therapist. Yeah. Or
I want to fix this little piece of hair you just did.
Thank you so much, doll. I think some people just are not honest with themselves about certain things. So also a therapist can't help you if you're lying to them or you're not saying full truth.
What are you saying to the therapist?
So it's like so when people are like, oh, it doesn't work for me. And again, this is someone that has only done 2 to 3 sessions. But I think also seeing in other people, I'm like, oh, you are straight up. And then some people are just addicted to pain and hurt, and it's like a part of them. And I think, they need that, whether it be chaos or just some like
I just gotta chill because I can't function like that.
Yeah.
Like physically that would make me shut down.
Yeah, same.
I can't think like that. I hate thinking on my feet. I hate having to do things because of a decision, and now I gotta move in that way. Yeah. Like, so when people are like that, I'm like, that is an interesting way to be because you're always on your feet, but like, why?
Yeah. And I like, and I am kind of not, it's definitely not chaotic, but I'm a very like, like person.
Neurotic.
So it's for me, I can actually thrive in those environments, but I think I bring like a peacefulness to it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm also not the neurotic person that's just like, well, wait, that people that do that to me, that gives me, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, let me go step outside.
And my
let's
thing
come
is
back.
Like, I love telling people to breathe.
Oh, I had to do it. Baby, we got to count to 5.
Yeah, I love it. Like last week, I felt like I was a vessel.
Yeah,
I think I said that to you.
Come on, church.
I felt like I was a vessel. I don't know what I was being used for, but I was on the receiving end of a lot of tears.
Yeah.
And I had to constantly tell people to breathe. And it's an exercise I do myself, right? But people just be needing to get the emotion out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think that's important. Even when I feel
Let
like
them
you're going, when you're going through stuff, for me, it actually, I don't know, in a way it helps me because I think it takes the focus off of you. So instead of thinking about like, I have all this shit going on, I think it is very, you show up for people, you talk about it. You can smoke a little backwoods.
Okay.
I think, backwoods are like super important. You having your little
Is this chocolate?
So this is a chocolate flavor, like me. But chocolate flavor. This is a new flavor.
Calling you chocolate.
Yes, come on. That might be my little stripper name if I had one. Choc.
Okay.
Choc. Choc. Do not ever call me that.
Because look, you saw my face.
You were thinking about it, and I was like,
started to come in my vernacular, like, "What's up, Choc?"
Don't ever, because I don't know. It's like reminiscent to me of like, "What's up, Queen?" I don't like that, or like "Dark and Lovely." I hate all that type of shit. Yeah, we're gonna stick to the chocolate. Backwoods.
Hold on, chocolate though, like. All right, so this is a new flavor.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
it's coming. Yeah, it'll be out in June.
Y'all know I was just going off about the fact of the backwoods having the motherfucking Ziploc.
Not the motherfucker.
I get so excited about the damn
motherfucker.
Ziploc.
The Ziploc. It keeps it fresh.
It smells just like chocolate.
Let me smell. It smells just like
chocolate. Smells just like chocolate.
It's giving dessert, okay? It is literally
it's like
giving
a chocolate
dessert.
Cake.
It tastes, it's giving birthday party, dessert, cake, cupcake.
Not me wanting it back just so I can smell it.
It actually smells really, really good.
Yeah, that smells good.
It smells so good.
And you get this.
You get your resealable bag.
Seal in the freshness.
Listen, all the SKUs. Backwoods is just doing their big one, coming out with so many different things.
Yeah, because
the girls.
The true wraps, I was going up for those.
See?
So
exactly.
Now you got
just
the
making
chocolate.
it. I feel like flavors making it real easy for everybody to. You can smoke your little backwoods. You go to your therapy. You have your session with your friends. It's multi-purpose.
Because the thing about it too with therapy, a lot of times, like you kind of have to decompress after.
Yeah.
Like I did a session one time and we had to record right after with Preston, and I had to.
It's a lot.
It was a lot. Like I literally just. Paused
I remember
just now.
that we counted before that.
Yeah, like literally, it was like we counted, we breathed.
I had just a hectic work day.
Yeah.
Even long conversations. You have a really hard conversation with a friend or anybody, and I think you have to literally be like, "Whoo."
Yeah.
Like I remember, I had a hard conversation and walked into a room, and apparently everybody was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Nothing." They were like, They said my arm was like stuck or something. I was like, "Excuse me." And I was like, oh my God, I have to get this together. Like, and I literally just had to be like, like literally just take a few breaths. And
that's
be
it.
Like, let me
take a few breaths.
Let me show up, let me be
I feel like I do that at least
present.
Once a day.
What?
Like the deep breaths to like pause for a second. I did it this morning because I was rushing and I was like, I don't like rushing. Rushing makes me nervous and it gets me all like jittery. So it was literally like a pause to just breathe to like.
It wasn't until I got older.
Yes,
I realized that.
Shit, that might be this year.
Yeah, that like. Even like I do have a lot of anxiety about being late, but I'm not even always late, but
you make it a point to be on time.
Exactly. I'm not the person that's like, you're counting on me being late.
No.
So but I know that I have anxiety around being from like my father was just always late for everything. So I know where that stems from. Right. And then, but I think I was actually listening to a Jay Shetty podcast and the guy was saying this and he was so used to from his parents always being late that he then adopted that in his own life. So when it doesn't happen, you have like, I will be the person that's like up on time and then try to slide a little something in. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's like realizing what those, not even triggers are, but like the things that either you don't like or, what does it lead to? What are you doing? And, kind of try to change them.
Course correct.
Yeah. But that only happens when I think you can be really harsh and honest and self-aware. And I don't know how, that's the part, I don't know how you teach that. Because I think it's
self-awareness.
It's a lot of people that are not. You just be like,
I think self-awareness is a evergreen thing in your life because
you just need it.
Yeah,
you know what? Put a pin in it.
Okay.
Actually, no, put a pin in it because I think it is like a deeper conversation
around self-awareness. Okay, we'll come back to that. But it is a thing.
It should be.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody has it.
No,
I think
it took me a while.
Yeah, I don't think you just,
You ain't born with it.
No. Well, yeah. I don't know. Okay, pen. Well, the quote is...
Damn.
Not damn. Well, the quote is, every time you put yourself out there... Sorry, let me start over again. Every time you put yourself out there, despite the possibility of rejection, you validate your courage and willingness to take risk. Embrace rejection as a form of empowerment. Your journey is one of hope, not self-shame.
I got emotional as you read that. Like literally.
For real.
It is the antithesis of this year for me, is putting myself out there.
And it's hard.
It's so hard. And it's because with having a DJ residency thing and having people host and finding DJs and hitting up people to do events, and we were trying to find guests for this, and I feel like I'm constantly reaching out to people about something
and could be rejected.
Yeah. And like the rejection, it used to be crippling.
Yeah.
Whereas like now it's like they could say no. Okay, cool. Move on to the next.
I've always struggled with that too. And my mother used to be like, the only thing someone can say is no. And,
right.
And it can be literally crippling. You're like, you say no one time, you're like, I don't ever want to ask that person again.
Yeah. And so it's funny when people tell me no, how I've been doing better, because I don't know if you saw this interview with Law Roach. He's been on a press tour recently.
He's been doing so many things.
I don't know what's going on, but he's on a press tour. And one of the interviews, he was talking about the fact of like the different like houses wouldn't dress Zendaya early in her career. And he was like, once it's a no, it's always a no. And so because they told him no in the past,
you can't dress her now.
You can't dress her now.
Yeah.
But that's not a great way to be in a normal life. If someone tells you no, and they ask for something else, you can't say no because they told you no the first time.
Or I think in a different situation also. It's like that might
I'm working
be
on
relegated.
Because I've lived my life like that.
So
if you tell me no,
it's no
I'm
for
never
everything.
asking for anything. And when you ask me, it's also no.
Because it's like it takes courage to even set yourself up. And rejection, it is obviously a part of life, but it is so difficult to deal with. Even you be like trying to holler at somebody or something. Like that should be scary as shit. Like, I ain't got time for that. I hate rejection.
Not holler at somebody.
And then, just seriously, it's like, but more people need to be rejected. Yeah. Even like the conversation, even when you talk about like how women will give you a fake number or whatever, because you don't sometimes know how a man will react.
Right.
Especially like these younger kids is wilding. Like that one of the twins that got shot, like, because she didn't want to give him a number. It's like, again, back to all these issues. It all ties in.
Yeah.
So get rejected.
You have to. It's like
rejection.
Not rejection.
Rejection. But rejection is what? Protection.
Oh,
see y'all.
A word. Bye, y'all.